I watched the blockbuster movie Inception recently and woke thinking about the power of imagination. This high-tech film plays dramatically with the idea of manipulating dreams. Dreams are one way of experiencing our imagination at work, quite literally by experiencing images that appear within the dream as reality. Ordinarily on waking, we feel able to differentiate what we perceive and experience as actual reality from what we perceive and experience within a dream state as apparent reality. I want to propose, however, that our perception and experience of reality while we are awake is similarly mediated by imagination. I want to challenge the notion of our ability to perceive and experience actual reality as if we are in some objective sense able to perceive and experience reality as it is, reality per se. I want to suggest that our imagination acts as the interface between ourselves and reality. That is, we perceive and experience reality as filtered and projected by our imagination. The distinction between dream state and wake state may not be as clear and definitive as we normally assume. What does it really mean to be awake? Does awake mean to be fully conscious, to be fully aware of what is happening in and around us, to be able to take deliberate decisions and actions? This begs further questions that are difficult to answer. For example, what does it really mean to be conscious? What does it really mean to be fully aware? How do we know what's really driving our decisions? An example. I once had a dream in which I discovered my brother was having an affair with my girlfriend. It was a powerful and painful emotional experience, and even when I woke and realized it was only a dream, it still affected how I felt about and behaved towards my brother the next day. It's possible that what we experience in dreams, in this case emotional insecurity, could reveal something of what we are experiencing in the current awake state, yet which lies outside of our consciousness. The notion that we are not conscious of some aspects of what we are experiencing challenges the notion of awakeness as fully aware. If we think about our ordinary day-to-day experience, we can see how we are only ever selectively aware. For example, as you listen to this, notice how you've tuned out other things happening within and around you. For example, things you were thinking about previously, how you are sitting, your breathing, sounds outside of the room. This ability to selectively perceive, to filter out stimuli that otherwise would be distracting, or in totality overwhelming, is the same ability that enables us to focus, to concentrate. What we choose to focus or concentrate on links to interesting questions of motivation. In the present moment, what is motivating me to focus on A rather than B or C? Why am I more interested in X rather than Y or Z? We're sometimes aware of what's motivating us. Sometimes we simply don't know. According to psychodynamic theory, we can be motivated to move towards or away from experiences by unconscious or subconscious forces that lie outside of awareness. Sometimes it may be an intuitive gut instinct, a learned response that we somehow experience physiologically, yet find it hard or difficult to understand, rationalize, or explain. I believe sometimes it could be a spiritual intuition, a knowing from outside of ourselves that feels mysterious, yet compelling, a revelation from God. The psychodynamic tradition proposes that our subconscious memory draws connections between what we experience in the now and what we have experienced in the past. We perceive and experience each new person, relationship, situation, etc. through the filter of what we've experienced previously and what meaning we have derived from or attributed to it. We encounter objective reality subjectively. That is, we never really perceive or experience people and things fully for what they are, but always to some degree as distorted by what we project onto them. This is a great example of the power of imagination. Picture for a moment holding a projector on your shoulder each time you meet a new person. The encounter evokes subconscious memories and emotions within you that automatically project like an image onto that person. What you then experience of the person is a product of the actual person, the actual encounter, combined with metaphorical images and feelings you project onto them, resulting from previous encounters with other people. By way of illustration, I once met a co-leader of a study group for the first time. I found myself relating to him warmly, confidently and humorously, and after a while noticed that he looked a bit bemused by this. I realised on reflection that there was something about how he looked, talked and behaved that reminded me of a very close friend. It was as if I had projected an image of my friend onto this stranger and then subconsciously perceived and related to him as if he was that friend. Social constructionist theory proposes that what we notice, how we perceive the world, for example how we categorise things, what images we hold of it, what sense we make of reality and the meanings we attribute to it, are created through interactions with others. In other words, our perception and experience of reality are socially and culturally constructed. We use language to reveal our maps or images of the world within and around us, and in doing so, shape and reinforce those things with others. In this tradition, to be aware means to be conscious as far as possible of the various influences that shape our beliefs, our assumptions, our worldviews, and to be open to other possibilities, other ways of perceiving and experiencing reality. According to this tradition, reality is perception. That is, our experience of reality is inescapably governed by what we imagine it to be, how we have learned to perceive and experience it, how we shape it by the way we think and talk about it. The psychodynamic and social constructionist traditions combined lead to a conclusion that human perception and experience of actual reality is mediated by memory, imagination, and interaction with others. We never fully experience reality in an objective sense for what it is, but as a curious mix of what's in here, what's out there, and what value and meaning we superimpose onto it. At best we can perceive reality in terms that the New Testament describes as a poor reflection. This is consistent, I think, with Kant's paraphrased reflections on spirituality. God reveals himself objectively, but we experience him subjectively. It's as if God reaches into our human constructs, shaping, challenging and reframing them to reveal a glimpse of himself in terms we can grasp. Our images of God are nevertheless created and constrained by the limits of human language, culture, experience, and imagination. In light of this, we do well to approach God and all other aspects of reality and truth with humility and an openness to fresh challenge and possibility.